This book is dedicated to every soul who ever felt trapped inside their own mind, to the thinkers who were told to be quiet, to the visionaries who were mocked for being different, to the ones who always felt like something wasn't right but couldn't find the words. This is for you. May this book unlock what they tried to keep hidden. May it remind you that you were never crazy, just conscious. You were born to be free, and now it's time to take your mind back. Rush LegacyX. Introduction: The Invisible Battle for Your Mind, from the book Mind Games, Free Your Mind, Free Your Life, by Rush LegacyX. The most powerful form of slavery is the kind you can't see, and the most dangerous enemy is the one that lives inside your head. We are living in a time where the war is no longer fought with chains, whips, or shackles. The battlefield has shifted. The weapons are not guns or grenades. They are ideas, images, algorithms, and messages. The new battlefield is your mind. And the truth is, you've been under attack since the day you were born. Before you had a chance to decide who you wanted to be, they told you who you were. Before you chose what to believe, they handed you a belief system. Before you ever made a decision, they programmed your mind to follow a script. School taught you what to think, not how to think. The media showed you what success looks like. Your favorite music told you what to value. And your friends, just like you, were trained to follow, not lead. The scariest part? Most people will live and die without ever realizing they were controlled. They'll work jobs they hate, chase things they don't even want, think thoughts that aren't their own, and defend a system that was never designed to benefit them. They'll laugh at the truth and fight for the lie, because the lie feels safe. The lie feels normal. But this book is not for the normal mind. This book is for the rebellious mind, the questioning mind, the tired mind, the mind that wants to be free. If you've ever felt like there's more to life than what you've been told, if you've ever questioned why you think the way you think, if you've ever wondered whether your decisions are truly your own, then this book was written for you. This isn't just a book, it's a mirror. It's going to show you what's been hiding behind the curtains. It's going to challenge your comfort zones, shake your foundations, and possibly offend the lies you've made peace with. And that's a good thing, because you cannot be free until your mind is. And you cannot change your life until you change the way you think. So I ask you, who has control of your mind? Do you control your thoughts, or do your thoughts control you? Are you the master of your mind, or just a player in someone else's game? By the time you finish this book, you'll no longer be a pawn in the system. You'll be a strategist, a creator, a thinker, a free mind. It's time to unplug from the lies. Let the games begin. Chapter 1. Who has control of your mind? If you don't program your mind, someone else will. Rush Legacy. X. From the moment you opened your eyes in this world, someone has been trying to claim your mind. Your parents taught you what they were taught. Your school trained you to follow directions, not your intuition. Your pastor told you what to believe. Your television showed you what to want. Your phone listens to your every word and then sells your desires back to you. But here's the real question. Was any of it truly you? The early programming. You didn't choose your name. You didn't choose your language. You didn't choose your religion, your culture, or even the values you were raised on. By the time you were old enough to form a thought, you were already downloaded with a mental operating system. Just like a phone comes with factory settings, you came with mental defaults, and most people never update them. They go through life running outdated software, thinking, speaking, and living out a life that was programmed for them, not by them. The work system. Obey, don't think. Let's be honest. What does school really teach us? To memorize, to follow rules, to raise our hands for permission, to sit still, stay quiet, and wait for the bell. It doesn't teach us how to think critically. It teaches us how to be good employees. Then we graduate into a job where we trade time for money, ask for permission to take vacations, and hope for retirement if we survive 40+ years of mental slavery. That's not life. That's a well-designed trap. Music, media, and mental control. You ever notice how we all start thinking alike? Saying the same phrases, wearing the same brands, wanting the same things? That's not coincidence, that's programming. We're bombarded daily with music that glorifies destruction, social media that feeds us chaos, and headlines that keep us in fear. Most of what you like is what you've been told to like. What you want is what they've made you crave. And the dangerous part? You think you chose it. The illusion of choice. They gave you two political parties and called it freedom. They gave you a list of careers and called it success. They gave you streaming services and called it options. But behind the curtain, the same puppet masters pull every string. They don't want thinkers, they want workers, consumers, followers. They fear the free mind. Because once your mind is free, you're no longer a slave to the game. You become the game changer. Take a look in the mirror. Before you move on to the next chapter, I want you to ask yourself, what beliefs do I hold that were never mine to begin with? What habits do I repeat that no longer serve me? What parts of me were taught, not chosen? This is where the journey begins. Because freedom doesn't start in the streets, it starts in the mind. You can't build a new life with an old mindset, and you'll never know true power. Until you ask the question most people are too scared to ask, who has control of your mind? Chapter 2. Thought Invasion, How You've Been Manipulated. The best slaves are the ones who think they're free. Rush LegacyX. You didn't just wake up one day thinking the way you think. You were taught to think that way. And whether you realize it or not, your mind has been invaded. Not with bullets or bombs, but with ideas. Not with chains, but with culture. Not with prisons, but with platforms. And it started way earlier than you think. The media is the real magician. Let's keep it real. Your mind is a sponge, and media is the faucet dripping poison into it every single day. Television told you what beauty looks like. Rap music told you who to admire. Reality shows told you how to argue. Instagram told you you're not enough unless you get likes. You didn't just become this way, you were shaped, sculpted, strategically influenced. They don't want to change your actions. They want to control your thoughts before you even act. That way, you'll do exactly what they want without ever realizing it. Soundtracks of self-destruction. Let's talk about music, the most powerful mind-controlled device in your pocket. You memorize every lyric. You repeat every line. You chant mantras that glorify killing, cheating, spending, and chasing dopamine. You don't even realize you're speaking curses over your own life in rhythm and melody. This ain't music. It's mental warfare with a beat. When did we normalize loving songs about pain, poverty, prison, and poison? When did self-hate become the soundtrack of our culture? And if we can be manipulated to destroy ourselves, who's really pulling the strings? Peer pressure in disguise. Sometimes it's not a commercial. Sometimes it's your cousin, your homie, your coworker, your group chat. We've been trained to shame anyone who thinks differently. If you read too much, you're trying to be deep. If you move in silence, you're acting funny. If you dream too big, they say you're doing too much. That's not love. That's control. We police each other's minds for the system. We keep each other in the cage because we're scared of what freedom might look like. But the truth is, you weren't born to fit in. You were born to wake up. Algorithms are thinking for you. They don't just watch your clicks. They shape them. Your feed is filtered. Your options are curated. Your path is directed. They show you what to think about, what to be mad at, what to chase, who to hate, what to fear, what to buy next. It's not information, it's indoctrination. You think you're scrolling, but you're being scrolled. You think you're watching, but you're being watched. You think you're free, but your mind is on a leash. And the more comfortable you are, the deeper the chains sink in. The wake-up call. So ask yourself, who taught me to love what destroys me? Who benefits from me staying in fear, staying broke, staying blind? What if everything I believe is not mine, but theirs? Because here's the truth. Until you question everything, you don't control anything. You've been manipulated, but now you're awake. And the next step is even more powerful. It's time to break the spell. Chapter 3. The Illusion of Free Will. You think you're making choices, but your choices were made for you a long time ago. Rush Legacy X. We live in a world that worships freedom. Freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom of choice. But let me ask you something real. If everything around you has already been designed to influence your decisions, are your decisions really your own? Free will or forced will? You didn't choose the brands you wear. They were advertised to you. You didn't choose what's trendy. It was sold to you. You didn't even choose your goals. Someone told you what success should look like. You're told where to go, what to chase, what to fear, what to value, and even what to question, all within the walls of a system that designed your freedom. That's not free will. That's a guided tour through a mental prison with invisible walls. The choices you think you're making think of life like a video game. You can move around, pick up tools, fight enemies, but the map was designed by someone else. Your choices were placed there in advance. Your freedom is limited to the paths that have already been built. That's how this system works. They give you Democrat or Republican, but never let you think outside the political system. They give you Christianity or atheism, but never let you explore deeper spirituality on your own. They give you college or the streets, but never teach you how to create your own lane. You're not thinking freely, you're thinking within a box that was given to you. And then they tell you, you're free to choose. The loop they keep you in. Wake up, go to work, pay bills, watch TV, repeat. Every day people go through the exact same loop, believing they're living life, when in reality they're just fulfilling a program. Your thoughts aren't your own. Your desires were implanted. Your actions are predictable. You've been conditioned to live on autopilot and to defend the very system that enslaves you. That's how deep the programming goes. The first step to freedom. To break free, you have to do the hardest thing in the world. Admit that you've been controlled. Not just by media, not just by music, but by everything. You must question, why do I believe what I believe? Who profits from my behavior? What would my life look like if I truly thought for myself? Because once you ask those questions, the illusion starts to shatter. Final thought. You're not stuck. You're just following a script that was never yours. Rush LegacyX. The truth hurts, but it also heals. And once you see the game, you can't unsee it. Now it's time to go deeper. Chapter 4. The music, the message, and the mental chains. They no longer need to shackle your body because they've already imprisoned your mind through your favorite song. Rush Legacy. Music used to be medicine. It used to heal. It used to teach. It used to uplift. But now, it's a weapon. And the most dangerous part? You dance to it. The hidden programming in the beat music is frequency. Frequency is energy, and energy has the power to heal or to harm. The melodies you repeat become mantras. The lyrics you chant become beliefs. The energy you absorb becomes your reality. They say it's just a song, but how many lives were changed, ended, or broken by the messages in those songs? Music doesn't just entertain you, it enters you. And what's been entering us lately? Death, drugs, sex, greed, hatred, pain, all wrapped in a catchy hook. When did self-destruction become the vibe? Let's ask some real questions. When did it become cool to disrespect women in every bar? When did murder become a metaphor for success? When did popping pills become a sign of power? You know what's wild? They stopped censoring our music once we started destroying ourselves with it. That's not freedom. That's silent approval. They love it when we kill each other to a beat. They profit when we promote our own pain. They sit back while we glorify the grave and call it culture. Our artists have become our enemies. And no shade, some of them don't even know it. They were raised in the same system, grew up on the same programming, taught to chase the bag, even if it costs their community everything. But make no mistake, if you promote destruction for a check, you are part of the system. They hand you a contract to kill your own people, lyrically, spiritually, emotionally, and then they call you a superstar. We don't need more rappers with rollies. We need more leaders with truth. Break the loop. Reclaim the vibration. Your mind is sacred. Your soul is sensitive. Your energy is valuable. So be mindful of what enters your ears. What songs do you wake up to? What anthems do you repeat without question? What moods are you locked into after you press play? Because the right music can raise your vibration, but the wrong music can enslave your imagination. Every time you press play, you're either programming power or poisoning your potential. Liberation through sound. Here's your challenge. Make a new playlist. Replace pain with purpose. Replace poison with power. Replace destruction with direction. Use music to rise, not to rot. Because if the enemy can use music to control your mind, you can use it to set yourself free. Be careful what you vibe to, because what you vibe to, you become. Rush Legacy. Chapter 5. The Work Trap. Slaves in Suits. They no longer need whips when they've got wages. Rush Legacy. It's the American dream, right? Go to school, get a degree, get a good job, work 40 years, retire with what's left of your body and mind. But let's stop the lies right here. That's not a dream. That's a trap, a well-dressed plantation, and the sad part, most people defend it like it's freedom. Modern-day slavery in disguise. You wake up every day at a time someone else sets. You go sit in a building someone else owns. You work for someone else's goals. You take orders from someone else. You get paid just enough to survive, not enough to leave. And they call that success? Let's be honest. If you take away the suit, the Starbucks, and the salary, what's the difference between a slave picking cotton and an employee pushing paper? Control, no control. Ownership, no ownership. Freedom, no freedom. Chasing paychecks, not purpose. Most of us were raised to chase the check. Get a good job was the anthem. Security was the goal. But nobody told you that a paycheck is just permission to survive, not thrive, not build, not own. You can't leave a job to your kids. You can't pass down a time card. You can't build generational wealth clocking in for somebody else. That's the game. They train you to chase job security while they build empires on your labor. The routine that kills dreams. Let's break it down. Wake up at 6 a.m. for a job you hate. Sit in traffic for an hour. Work 8 to 10 hours, making someone else rich. Come home exhausted. Binge Netflix to escape. Sleep. Repeat for 40 years. By the time you retire, your body's broken and your time is gone. That's not life. That's a slow death. Why you were trained to love the trap. Let's keep it all the way real. The school system didn't teach you how to own. It taught you how to obey. Sit down, be quiet, follow directions, raise your hand, wait for the bell. Take your lunch when you're told. They were never grooming you to be free. They were training you for the workforce. Your creativity replaced with conformity. Your leadership replaced with obedience. Your voice silenced unless it serves their system. The exit plan. Look, I'm not saying you quit your job tomorrow, but I am saying you need a plan to get your freedom back. Start building a side hustle, a skill set, a brand, an asset, something with your name on it. Because if you don't own something, you'll always be owned. You were not born to just work, pay bills, and die. You were born to create, to lead, to leave something behind. Don't confuse making a living with making a life. Rush Legacy. Chapter 6. Breaking the Cycle of Mental Slavery. Before you can break the chains on your feet, you've got to break the chains in your mind. Rush Legacy. It's not enough to know you've been controlled. Now you have to break free. Because awareness without action is just another form of slavery. You see the trap, you recognize the game, but what are you doing about it? This is where the real work begins. This is the chapter they don't want you to read. Step 1. Admit you've been programmed. This is the hardest step, but the most powerful one. You've got to look in the mirror and say, I've been lied to. I've been manipulated. I've been following someone else's script. It's not shame, it's truth. And truth is the first brick in the foundation of freedom. You can't free a mind you still believe is in control. You can't change what you refuse to confront. Step 2. Audit your beliefs. Not every belief you have belongs to you. Some were implanted, some were inherited, some were trauma responses. Ask yourself, where did this belief come from? Who benefits from me thinking this way? Does this belief serve the life I want or the life they programmed me for? Anything that doesn't align with freedom, ownership, peace, or power, delete it. You are the editor now. No more running on default settings. Step 3. Break the loops. You can't expect a new life with the same old routine. That means change your music, change your timeline, change your circle, change your input, because your mind is like a garden. If you keep planting weeds, don't expect fruit. Start replacing gossip with growth, fear with faith, noise with knowledge. What you feed your mind becomes your mindset. Step 4. Rebuild on purpose. Mental freedom isn't just about unlearning, it's about rebuilding. That means read what empowers you, watch what enlightens you, speak what aligns with your vision, surround yourself with people who push you forward. Create a new identity, not based on survival, but on sovereignty. You're not just waking up, you're rising up. Step 5. Guard your mind. Like it's $1,000,000, you wouldn't leave stacks of cash on the street. So why leave your mind wide open to trash? Protect your energy, protect your thoughts, protect your peace from media, from conversations, from environments. If it doesn't elevate you, it's trying to enslave you. Your mind is the headquarters of your entire life. Treat it like sacred territory. Mental freedom. Checklist. Do I think for myself or do I follow trends? Do I question everything or accept anything? Do I own my thoughts or do they own me? Do I speak life or echo death? Am I living someone else's dream or building my own? Mental slavery ends the moment you decide to think for yourself. Rush LegacyX. Chapter 7. Reprogramming the Mind. They gave you a virus called fear. You have to install a new system called freedom. Rush Legacy. Now that you've broken the chains, now that you've seen the programming, now that you've stepped outside the matrix, it's time to do something most people never do. Take control of your mind and rewire it for greatness. Your thoughts are not fixed. Your patterns are not permanent. Your mind is a machine, and you are the engineer now. Step 1. Mental fasting. Starve the system. You can't build on a corrupted foundation. You've got to cleanse your mental environment. That means turn off the toxic music. Log off the fear-filled timelines. Unplug from people who drain you. Skip the gossip. Cut the chaos. Silence the noise. Give your mind space to breathe. This is your mental detox. Just like a body fast, this is how you reboot your thinking. Even 7 days of mental fasting can shift your entire vibration. Step 2. Speak life daily. Affirmations. Your words are spells. What you speak, you summon. Every day, affirm your new mind with power statements like, I am in full control of my thoughts. My mind is focused, free, and unshakable. I release every lie and reclaim my truth. I don't chase. I attract. I create. I think like a leader. I move like a king. Repeat them out loud. Write them down. Record them and play them back. The old mind was programmed with repetition. The new mind will be too. Step 3. Visualize your new life. Close your eyes and see yourself. Waking up early and focused. Creating something powerful. Speaking on stages. Building your brand. Living in peace. Owning your time. Teaching your kids what you were never taught. Feel it like it's real because your brain doesn't know the difference. Visualize daily because if you can see it clearly in your mind, you can build it in real life. Step 4. Feed your mind with freedom content. Replace brainwash with brain growth. Every day consume books that empower you, podcasts that enlighten you, conversations that challenge you, music that uplifts you. If the mind is a garden, then content is the water. Only pour what you want to grow. Step 5. Destroy the old triggers. Write this down. What are the thoughts, habits, or patterns that keep pulling me back into slavery? Examples. Scarcity thinking, procrastination, negative self-talk, jealousy or comparison, people-pleasing. Every time one shows up, check it at the door, catch it, call it out, replace it. You're the guard now. Nothing enters your mind without your permission. Step 6. Set boundaries to protect your new mindset. Your new mindset is sacred. Treat it like a newborn baby. It needs protection and intention. That means limit who has access to your energy, block out negativity, turn down distractions, walk away from anything that makes you forget your power. Every no to chaos is a yes to your freedom. The reprogramming formula. Detox the old, rewire the thoughts, speak the new. Visualize daily, feed your growth, protect your peace. Do this consistently, and you won't just be free, you'll be unstoppable. You were programmed without your permission. Now it's time to reprogram with your power. Rush Legacy. Rush. LegacyX Chapter 8. Becoming a master of your own mind. A man who can't control his thoughts will always be controlled by someone else. Rush Legacy. Freedom is not just about breaking out of the system. It's about taking the throne of your own mind. Because once you've detoxed, unlearned, and reprogrammed, now comes the most powerful part of the journey. Mastery. Mastery isn't about being perfect. It's about being present, aware, and intentional with every thought you allow to live in your mind. Mastery means mental discipline. Every thought that enters your mind is either building your future, distracting your focus, or destroying your peace. Your job now is to become ruthless with what you allow in. You don't just have thoughts anymore. You command them. If it's negative, redirect it. If it's distracting, delete it. If it's not aligned, reject it. If it's empowering, repeat it. This is mental weightlifting. And every day you train, you get stronger. Detachment, the master's superpower. The master of the mind knows this. Not every thought deserves your energy. Not every emotion needs your reaction. You will still have fear. You will still feel doubt. You will still get triggered. But the difference is, you don't attach to it. You observe it. You question it. And then you decide what to do with it. Most people live like slaves to their emotions. The master, he's calm in chaos. He's clear in confusion. He thinks before he reacts. That's power. Protect your mental environment like royalty. Once your mind is elevated, you can't hang around low-level vibrations. You've got to protect your mornings, limit your inputs, set boundaries with people, walk away from anything that drains your mental clarity. Your peace is now priority. Your energy is now sacred. Your focus is now non-negotiable. Because a king doesn't step off his throne to argue with pawns, and a free mind doesn't entertain things that enslave it. Build a mental fortress. Ask yourself daily, am I thinking intentionally? Am I reacting or responding? Are my thoughts aligned with my vision? Am I letting outside forces control my inner world? Because this is the truth. Your outer world is just a reflection of your inner mind. If your life is chaotic, go clean up your thoughts. If your relationships are toxic, check your belief system. If your energy is low, examine what you're feeding your mind. You're not just living anymore. You're leading yourself now. Signs you're mastering your mind. You think before you react. You create more than you consume. You speak life, not lack. You choose peace over drama. You move with intention, not impulse. You question everything, including yourself. You teach others how to rise. Mastering your mind doesn't make life easier. It makes you stronger. Rush Legacy. Chapter 9. The Power of Independent Thinking. The most dangerous man is the one who thinks for himself. Rush Legacy. There is a reason schools don't teach it. There is a reason churches don't encourage it. There is a reason employers don't reward it. Independent thinking is the biggest threat to any system of control, because the moment you start thinking for yourself, you stop playing their game. Groupthink. The mental plantation most people don't think. They follow. They follow trends. They follow celebrities. They follow opinions. They follow the crowd, even if it walks off a cliff. Why? Because groupthink is comfortable. It's easy to be accepted when you blend in. It's safe to nod your head when everyone else does. But what's safe is often slavery in disguise. Free thinkers are often feared. The truth is, if you dare to think differently, you will be misunderstood. You will be laughed at. You will be called crazy. You might even be hated. But let me tell you something. First they laugh, then they attack, then they copy, then they call you a genius. Every movement, every revolution, every change in history started with someone who dared to think outside the box. So if they call you different, good. That means you're on the right track. Break the programming. Ask dangerous questions. The weapon of the independent thinker is the question. Start asking, why do I believe this? Who benefits from this belief? What's the evidence behind this rule? What if the opposite is true? Who profits from me staying silent? Questions are the key that opens the mental prison door. And the more you ask, the more you'll start to see. Most of what you were taught was designed to keep you small, scared, and controlled. Stop consuming. Start creating. Independent thinkers don't wait for permission. They don't ask for validation. They don't look for someone to tell them what's possible. They decide. They create. They build what doesn't exist. If the world is feeding you lies, start feeding yourself truth. If the system won't give you opportunity, create your own lane. If society pushes you into a mold, break it. Your freedom depends on your ability to think boldly, clearly, and fearlessly. Traits of the independent thinker. Questions everything, even their own beliefs, listens more than they speak, values truth over comfort, learns from everyone, but copies no one thinks long-term, not just emotionally, refuses to be a pawn in someone else's agenda, leads with vision, not validation. Don't think like the crowd is lost. Rush Legacy. When you free your mind from the herd, you become the shepherd. And now that you think differently, you're ready to live differently. Chapter 10. Mind over everything. Your life is a reflection of your mind. Change your mind, change your life. Rush Legacy. Now that you see the game, now that you've unplugged, now that you've taken your thoughts back, let me remind you of one final, unshakable truth. The mind is the root of everything. Your income, your health, your peace, your relationships, your confidence, your future. It all starts in the mind. Your money follows your mindset. If you think like a slave, you'll work like one. If you think in lack, you'll live in scarcity. If you think small, you'll miss big opportunities. But once your thoughts align with wealth, ownership, and abundance, your money starts to shift. You'll no longer chase the bag. You'll attract the bag. You'll create the bag. Because when your mindset evolves, your hustle matures. You don't just grind, you build. You don't just work, you multiply. You don't just survive, you own. Your body responds to your beliefs. Stress starts in the mind. Sickness is often rooted in emotion, and healing begins with thought. The person who controls their mind controls their cravings, their habits, their discipline, their physical reality. You want to level up physically? Start mentally. Master the mind, and the body will follow. Your relationships reflect your inner dialogue. If you don't love yourself, you'll attract people who reflect your pain. If you doubt yourself, you'll tolerate disrespect. If you fear being alone, you'll settle for anything. But once your mind is healthy, you set boundaries with peace. You love with clarity. You communicate with power. You build with intention. The quality of your connections rises when the quality of your mindset does. Your future is shaped by your thoughts. Today, you're not waiting on your next opportunity. You're not waiting on the right time. You're not waiting for luck or rescue or permission. You're one thought away from the life you were born to live. You've been the key this whole time. Your thoughts are bricks. Your beliefs are the blueprint. Your actions are the architect. And your mind? Your mind is the throne. Daily reminder for mental kingship. I control my thoughts. I guard my peace. I question the system. I speak life. I move with vision. I act with purpose. I rise every day with power. The world changes for the man who changes his mind. Rush Legacy. This isn't the end of the book. This is the beginning of a new legacy, one built on consciousness, one built on truth, one built on mental freedom. Because once your mind is free, you are unstoppable. Let the world adjust to the new you. You're not playing their game anymore. You're building your own. Mind over everything. Free your mind. Free your life.